Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this is the one we've been waiting for, or at least I've been waiting for quite a while. Finally! I know the UK got it a week earlier than us, but we now have in Australia this Battle of Osgiliath box set. Let's face it, we probably know what's coming in it, but let's just go through it anyway. I'll start cracking this one open, but as we've had in the last box set, and you know, the last 20 odd years, there's a lot of models here that are old, and consequently, one might argue, are not the greatest of detail. One might also wonder why some of these models are included in like every single box set we get. Like, why do we need another troll? Why do I need to start getting to the 200 to 300s of my Warriors of Minas Tirith? I kick myself because I personally just went and bought a bunch of Rangers right before this one was announced to do that army. Or beef that army up a little bit, already had a few. But we do get some new heroes. We do get a slightly updated rulebook, which, you know, is what it is. But the thing that we all really want is the new terrain. So let's have a look at it and see what we get. Alrighty, so in this box we have some orcs. Okay, never seen those before, or not. Some Warriors of Minas Tirith. We don't need those. Some more orcs. Oh, the troll I mentioned. Yeah, nothing new to see here. Okay, so we get some Rangers. That one, they're not new sculpts, but they haven't come out in the box set, so you know, that's something. Then I suppose there's this one. Wag might be a little bit, you know, different, but I'd say that's our Gothmog right there. And then this one would be our other hero. Nice. Or heroes. Yeah, we'll work it out. This is what we really want. Alright, so we have, as people have mentioned, and I'll just try and find it for confirmation. Alright, this is Sprue A. We get 2 copies of Sprue A. Alright, aren't we lucky? We'll build something with that later. And this one I think is D from memory. Yep. And we have 2 copies of Sprue D. The fact that there is A, the fact that there is D, and that we're missing some stairs and roof sections strongly suggests the existence of B and C, which will be coming at a later date. Alright, so we have a wonderful insert here. It's actually, that's a much better insert there, a map, alright? That I can see some use for. So I'm pretty happy with that. Didn't realise that was coming in the box. Death bases. If I haven't got like thousands of those laying about. On the other side, some more bases. Alright, Gothmog's base. Some dice. Yes, we've got plenty of those. And that'll be the Warg's dismount base or something. A ruler, another one. A little bit of Middle Earth stuff. Oh, sorry, whoops, 2 rulers. A little bit of Middle Earth design in there. So what you are getting here is a complete starter box. You are getting a rules manual. You're getting probably, I'd say, yep, scenarios and profiles. So that'll give you the profiles for the models that you, well, should have the model profiles for the models you get in this box. So if you were so inclined to have this box open with a friend, or put it to yourself and get a friend to come over and play, you would have sufficient profiles for all the models included here that you can have yourself a game. So when I was saying about the hero one, we got Madril, Faramir and Damrod. Yay. The only problem with that, I suppose, is, look, I love new sculpts. Everyone's going to love new sculpts. They're going to be popular. One of the couple of reasons, main reason, that people are going to buy this box. What would have been nice to see is some models that weren't just a resculpt of something we already have. Like, I would have liked to have seen some new profiles. Heavens forbid it was for a faction other than Minas Tirith and Rohan, of which we have a lot of profiles. You know, there's some profiles already in the game that we don't have models for, like the Catapult Troll. That would have been nice instead of, you know, your 15th Mordor Troll. So yeah, we get instructions on how to assemble models and terrain. You know, isn't that nice? What can I say about that? I'll have a closer look at that later when I build this sucker. I might build it on camera, or the terrain. I'll build the new models, the old models. They'll go in the drawers with all the other models that are the same. Then we have a rulebook, nice shiny new rulebook. You can't say no to that. My old rulebook, yeah, I'd like to say it's looking terrible. If it's not, it's in pretty good condition. But I'll take an updated rulebook. I'll have one to keep in the store and one to take to the tournaments. And that way, the one that I use on camera, in here at least, will be shiny and new. So yay, a new rules manual. I did hear, I'll just try and confirm it, that instead of giving us all 18 profiles, and, you know, heavens forbid, maybe they could even give us the doubles profiles, they persist in wanting to try and get us to buy the match play guide, which is fine, except for the match play guide is seldom in stock, at least in Australia. I mean, maybe in England it's always there, but, you know, we get the Australia tax, and we're all happy to pay it. Yep, just 6 scenarios. So we have domination, to the death, hold ground, destroy the supplies, reconnoiter, and fog of war. You know, could they just bugger off those nasty, you know, objective-based ones, and let's just keep all the combat-based ones, so when I take something like Sauron, I get to have fun. But yeah, look, you'll need the match play guide. You needed it before because you only had 12 scenarios in the old book. Match play guide added the 6 new ones, gave us the 6 double scenarios. While this might be an updated rulebook, an updated scenario book, it is not. I will have, again, a closer look through the book later. I mean, the stuff at the back with, you know, pictures of, you know, wonderful armies may or may not be changed from the old one. Or we might do a comparison in a subsequent video, but for now, let's focus on the things that actually matter. So, as I was saying earlier, you get yourself a scenario and profiles thing. You get a few tokens. You got some tokens like this in the previous Battle of Pelennor box set. And then I think it was the General's Handbook gave you some as well. So, you know, this is just like to say you're prone. What else we got here? There's a cav charge, failed charge, heroic move, heroic combat, heroic strike, heroic shoot. Yeah, that doesn't get used often, but when it does, it's pretty hectic. I remember being in a tournament once, actually in Victoria. It wasn't a doubles tournament, but the game I was playing was actually a doubles game. And my partner had a shooting heavy list. I had a whole bunch of dead guys. But our opponent had Gulliver, and we were thinking this was going to be pretty rough, because it was like, you know, seize the prize. But my opponent called a heroic shoot. All my models were obscured by a building, but he could see Gulliver poking his head up above it. Put umpteen different arrows into Gulliver and dropped him before he even got an opportunity to take off with that prize. Consequently, I think the King of the Dead would have jumped on it, or anyway, some dead guy would have jumped on it pretty quickly, and then we just had to grind our way through the rest of the army to get the win. So, Heroic Shoot does come in handy from time to time. Heroic Accuracy also comes in handy. He might have even called that with a different model, but it was like we just wanted to get the shots off. We wanted to get them off before we got shot into, and we wanted to try and make sure as many of those arrows hit Gully as we can. And since he has a pretty low defense, it worked out in our favor. And since it was a doubles match, so I think we were probably fielding 1,000 points give or take each side. But taking a hit of 200 points is still pretty big. So anyway, we have a scenario and profile guide here. Let's have a look. So we have some nice pictures of our new heroes, for the good side at least. And there's some painted models of the old stuff, but who cares about that? We have welcome to Middle Earth, yay. Alright, we got some profiles, Orcs across the Anduin. Look, I'll read through these a little bit later, but we've got a total of 4 scenarios. And look, I'll take 4 scenarios that if they don't appear anywhere else is still 4 scenarios. Do I have all the models to play them? There is a very good chance that with this starter I should have all the models to play them. And looking at that, you do indeed. Alright, so that's always good. I know that in the scenarios for like the Gondor and the Rohan book, there's not a lot of people out there that have 24 clansmen laying around, particularly laying around and painted. You might have all the orcs you need, you might have some of the heroes, but you generally don't have that. And there's a few other profiles, but that one, hands down, is the one you need the most of and you're least likely to have. I know in my circles it was the only profile that me and a couple of mates couldn't put together if we tried. So how did we solve that problem? We 3D printed some models that bear a striking resemblance. As for the profiles, we've got good profiles for Faramir, Madril, Damrod. We got the Warriors of Minas Tirith. We got the Rangers of Gondor. Evil, we've got Gothmog, and we've got the Morannon Orcs and a Mordor Troll. Okay, so if you've got the army profile books, you'd have most of these. Actually, no, you probably have all of these. I don't think these ones appear in any of the supplements. And at the back you have some pretty painted models, and you've got the new Gothmog. So, look, it's a nice thing to have if you are super mad keen on some terrain, which I know some people like myself are, and there might be another Middle-earth collector in New South Wales who's pretty keen on some terrain. We might end up with more than one of these boxes just to get some more of this, and then we'll probably be giving away a scenario book to someone who's worthy. We might also give away some of those horrible Morannon Orcs that I don't need, like over 100 of, but I have. On the other hand, this is like, plastic crack, and I'm not going to part with it. I really look forward to putting this together, given that there's apparently a couple more sprues coming down the track. Let's face it, it'll be a box that probably has, an A, B, C, and D. And I can build some other variety of structures with it. I'll be keen on that. I know I have way too much terrain, not as much as Adam, but I have a lot. I have a lot that's not painted, and that's probably the bane of my existence of just trying to get through that backlog. But this stuff I think is going to leapfrog the queue. I'll probably build it tomorrow if I don't build it tonight. And we'll have a quick look. I mean, priming it'll be nothing. It'll be what am I going to do with it to use some contrast paint to knock it out as quick and painlessly as possible, so we have it playable. I mean, that'd be the ideal world. who knows, I might even paint it for an event soon, or maybe, if I'm lucky enough, I might end up being a gym leader in the New South Wales league, and if that's the case, well, I'll make sure that it showcases in a bunch of my games, at the very least, and even if I'm not a gym leader, I will go and challenge some suckers for some badges, and I'll make sure it showcases there, because they probably don't have their own tables of terrain in all cases. So anyway, look, I think it's a fantastic box. I think you should rush out and buy it. I know that if you didn't order it, in Australia at least, almost instantly, chances are of you getting it before Christmas is not flash. But nonetheless, you can order it from your local store. GW have their prices. We pay the GW, Australia tax. So you might get a better bargain if you were to go to a different store. Who knows, they might even have some specials going on for Black Friday. I know I'm certainly considering it, but given that I am a little bit in the way of shorted on how many boxes I ordered, and I ordered them like instantly. I was told I was the third person to make the order for Australia. I'm like, well, that's only because you called me third, because if you had called me first, I would have definitely been the first. I was super keen on them. I know a bunch of people will be super keen. It is unfortunate that if you've got the last box set, you're going to have a whole bunch of these models. And if you have been collecting for 20 years, you're going to have the Warriors of Minas Tirith. You're going to have the Moran and Orcs. You're probably going to have the Rangers, but you might not. So if you don't have those, that's a welcome little add-on there. That's not a bad Legendary Legion. When they changed it and you had to put Sam, Frodo and Gollum in there, it got a little bit less lucrative, but it was pretty damn good up until that point. You do want to grab the Forge World models, though, with one of those profiles. I forget which one. But the one that basically says, oh, your Elven Cloaks or Stalk Unseen is not going to work. Ours, on the other hand, is good luck shooting us to death, and we're just going to make you pin cushions before you get halfway across the board. And of course, if you happen to draw, Contest of Champions, you are up the creek. But look, let's try and have a little bit closer look with this cam of some of this terrain. So, you've got, as I say, 2 of each of the sprues that we do have. And I'm pretty sure you can put this stuff together in a variety of ways. So you don't have to have any duplication of pieces. It should be reasonably modular, and you can try and get, what you're after. It is ruins. I mean, it's Osgiliath, for crying out loud. What did you expect? But ruins probably make for better terrain anyway, because it's not, if you've got a house, it's you're going through the doors or whatever. This is just, here's a wall, you can hide behind it. Maybe there's a platform you can get on for a bit of elevation. Always nice to try and get some line of sight through some window type pieces to get a sneaky shot off here and there. And if you're playing the rules correctly, like this window here, actually count as fortification, so they shouldn't be hitting you. On 4+, should be a 5+, in my opinion, but hey, we'll see what your opponent says, or the TO. Let's have a look at the other one. Alright, got some more windows. Got some floors for second level. And door down here. So look, as I say, I will throw these together soon. These are corner pieces, I think, to join it all together, or to extend the wall rather. Alright. But yeah, these are corner pieces. These are wall extensions. Alright. But yeah, look, I thoroughly look forward to building it. I look forward to making a video once I've done it, if not while I'm doing it, or maybe 2 videos. And I really look forward to playing on it. And it's going to make me feel like I should actually finish painting an army and use it. Now, as I said, I did have a Ranger army that I purchased. And what do you know, one of those very rare things, and one of the gifts of COVID, I actually painted most of it. I didn't paint the heroes, so now that I've got these shiny new heroes, I might build them, realize that I'm terrible at painting, beg Andreas to paint them for me, but then we'll end up with some nice looking models. But But anyway, look, I hope you enjoyed seeing what we've got. If your local game store in Australia at least got these in, like ordered it straight away before they were supposed to be like a 3-week window, and then like on the first day virtually of saying, yeah, order them, they went, whoa, we're out of stock in terms of getting it for Christmas. You can still pre-order it with any store and you get it after Christmas. You might even get lucky and get it before Christmas. But there are stores like this one, Archon Games, that do have it in stock, because we did order, like I said, we don't have as many in stock as we should have had because we got shorted on the order, but there are stores that have it in stock, and you might be able to pick it up as early as today, or even it could have been yesterday, the day before. But I got my stock in not even an hour ago, and I'm already cracking them open. I'm doing a video. I'm keen to try and move some of these because I want to see more of that terrain out there. The number of people that said to me, hey, do you know anyone that's interested in, like, splitting a box? I'm like, oh, well, what do you want? Oh, well, I just want the terrain. No one's going to want to buy a box of this and sell that terrain. Well, unless they're going to get a really good price for it, but they're not interested. People are buying it for the terrain. They're not buying it for the models that we've already got plenty of. Only if they're going to take a Mordor list and then they want the Goth Mog, or if they want the 3 Minas Tirith heroes, and they're they're models that we already have, but they are pretty new, sculpts, so they might, want those. So unless you're taking an army that is Rangers or something with Mordor and Goth Mog in it, you're not that keen on the models. If you don't have a rulebook, yeah, sure, you'd 100%. This is going to be the new starter, all right? So you'd buy it. But it's the terrain that we want, okay? That's what's going to make it worthwhile, and that's what we're after. So, anyway, look, stores could have it in stock. You can go in there anytime this week. Unlike normal things when we get delivery and we have to wait till like Saturday for release day, not the case with this particular one. It's why the Poms got it early. I was fuming, of course, because, the biggest game I support is Middle-earth. I asked my rep, why did they get to release it before I got it so I could do this very video? Because you've seen, a dozen videos of it already. You know what's in there, but it is what it is, okay? So we can't help bad luck, but the Australians do have it now. Some stores will have it. If they don't, pre-order it. You might get it before Christmas. I'm not going to promise that, but you ask your local store, they might promise it. And you're certainly likely to get it in the new year, okay? So if you're hanging out for a Christmas present, might be a problem. If you just want, a new rule book and you don't care about the time and you want the new terrain, but you got like, 10 other sets like most of us in the queue before it, it's not going to make much of a difference. So go and grab yourself a Battle of Osgiliath box set from wherever you can get yourself one for the best price. Throw the terrain together, maybe, join the recently created New South Wales Middle-earth community page. Share some pictures of your freshly cracked box. Share some pictures of your freshly painted terrain. And don't forget that we've got Liam and Jack, who have recently come up with ripping off Pokemon. I'm too old for it. But they're ripping off Pokemon to try and create a nice, friendly league. I know it might appear to the outside observer that we copied a certain other state. I can assure you we did not, because the moment they put an announcement out that was very cryptic, Liam came up to me at work that day and was like, they're doing something with Pokemon. I've literally been cooking that for like, a year. And I dare say the reason why Liam didn't get it out is he was busy with other work commitments, being a year advisor. And that's only just finished for him. So he's now got a bit of spare time on his hands. He's keen. He's got this going. Unlike other states where it might be considered a very competitive league, the New South Wales one is about growing the capabilities of New South Wales as a whole. We want to see gym leaders with various, I'll say, niches, a focus in their army or some other constriction, like maybe they only are going to play certain scenarios, or maybe they're going to play on super dense terrain or very sparse terrain. So if you want to hone your skills on a particular challenge, you go face that gym leader make a list that's literally designed to beat it and try and acquire their badge. The gym leaders should not be there to try and like just pummel you into submission, break your spirits. They're there to try and help you. I don't know who the gym leaders will be, but I know that if I were a gym leader, I would be trying to make, well, I'll make my list the White Council. I will literally try and tell my opponents some strategies on how to beat me beforehand. I would, if they want to run a list by me and ask me if I think it's got a chance of beating me or not, I will give them an honest answer. Probably during the game, I'll even give them some tips on, what to do. Before the game, I'll give them another rundown on what I can do and what I can't do, and what my weaknesses are, what my strengths are, and so how to exploit it. And then I'll play the game and try and kick their butt, because that's what it's about. Look, I want it to be a challenge, but I want them to, rise to that challenge, embrace the fact that we've got this wonderful thing, and, I won't say that Liam's a new TO, because, Liam's been TO and stuff for 15 years or whatever, but Liam hasn't run an event aside from overseeing Clash as a whole for quite a while, and I'm sure he's keen to get back into it. He's taken off a pretty big task. So if you happen to live in New South Wales, and that might not be all of you, but if you happen to live in New South Wales, please consider joining the community page. Please consider having a look at Liam's pack. And then maybe think about, you don't have to, or if you want, you can try and, apply to become a gym leader. Applications opened last night. But you could think bigger about want to collect some badges. It's an opportunity to travel around the state a little bit. Maybe make a day or weekend of it. Go with a few mates. Line some games up with various gym leaders in different areas. I know we're definitely, or Liam, not we, I'm no part of it. Liam is definitely looking at some people from the north. He's looking at getting gym leaders from the south. I don't know how far west he's going to go, like maybe the mountains. I know there's a few players up there. Some people from the city, like I'll give a shout out right now. Mike Kerr, if you happen to have time, could you please make sure you apply to be a gym leader? Andrew Coleman, I'm just going to assume you're going to apply to be a gym leader and you're going to collect all the badges. And I know Adam's got some going on a little bit to the south of Sydney. I even hear that someone from Canberra might be trying to jump on board. So look, there's going to be gym leaders all over the place. Some of them might be the Andrew Coleman end of the spectrum, and some of them might not be as skilled. But it doesn't mean that they're any less enthusiastic, and it doesn't mean that you can't still learn something from that game. And remember, the gym leaders will be trying to pick a list that is maybe not the most powerful, generic, I'm going to win Masters type list, because it's probably going to have a weakness. That weakness, like if I take, White Council, I don't have numbers. I'm 5 models. All right, if you kill a model or two, I'm suddenly really hurting. Yes, I'm magic heavy, so you probably want to work out how you're going to deal with that. But maybe I take, looking at this stuff here, maybe I take ranges. All right, that's great. I'm really great at shooting, but if I get the wrong scenario, I'm going to get turned into mincemeat. All right. I was thinking of taking Black Riders, but everyone who I've played Black Riders against pretty much hates me for it. And probably with good reason, because I can accept that when you have to play someone with Black Riders, it is probably the most painful, grueling experience that you can imagine. While I do try and sometimes make sure I have some combats, just to try and let my opponent feel like they got to have a combat, usually I could just make sure that there is no combat. It's me backing away from you, casting one die at a time, black darts, taking your heroes out, taking your archers out, or crossbowmen, or whatever you're going to shoot me with. And when I've buttered you up and, depleted you of resources, then I might charge in, have a few combats just to make you feel good, or I might try and, play it close so you might get the heroic move off and feel like you got a bit of a win. It's a nasty list. If you're a gym leader, how about you be considerate of all the people out there and don't take Black Riders, because it's just nasty. Though it is beatable, absolutely. I have definitely lost games with Black Riders. A few of them I probably shouldn't have. I was a bit silly. Sometimes it's just the dice don't go your way, and that's just the way it goes. I lost one to Rohan. It should never have happened. I think I lost one to a Mumak, but I was really just trying to lull him into a false sense of security. Thought I had to play him in a real game, not a practice game. But look, if you want, try and become a gym leader. If you live in New South Wales, try and join the league and get some games in. You don't have to, catch them all. You don't have to fight every gym leader. Get a badge, get 2 badges, get, 10 badges. Pretty sure in the pack, Liam said he's going to have an event at the end of the year, so we're talking December, where those people who have acquired sufficient sort of badges to gain entry, and probably the gym leaders, will come together and have an event. It's more about having fun there and bragging rights. It's always about bragging rights. But it's not meant to be, oh yeah, go fight that gym leader. Like Andrew Coleman, for instance. It's not go fight Andrew Coleman. He's going to, knock you down over and over and over again. Andrew doesn't want to play you 20 times until you can finally beat him. All right? Andrew probably wants to play you. Well, Andrew's a lovely guy. He loves playing everyone. But Andrew wants to play you once. He wants you to bring a list that's designed to beat him. And he wants you, if you're capable of it, to beat him. That's the way it's supposed to work. All right, we're not trying to gatekeep it and make, you've got to beat this and you've got to do that and you've got to, jump through this hoop and that hoop. It's can you put some time aside? Can your gym leaders put some time aside? And they will be committing to try and put some time aside. Bear in mind that they can't put, 15 days aside in the first month because everyone's on a mad rush to get every badge instantly. Just leave that to Andreas, okay? He will run around the state and he will collect them all. I think we can safely say that he's going to want to collect them all. Can he do it first? I don't know. If you'd like to comment to the effect of, do you think Andreas will be the first to cap out the badges in New South Wales? By all means. I think he will, but I think Andrew Coleman will definitely give him a run for his money. And if it's not one of those two, I would be very surprised. But I guess time will tell. Anyway, look, I've waffled on long enough. Thank you for watching. Please go out and get a Battle of Osgiliath box set if you are interested in some terrain. Reality, they'll probably release the updated rulebook in the not that distant future. They'll probably release those terrain sprues in another box in the not that distant future. And almost certainly they'll release those heroes. But the way that the good heroes come, that's going to be a 3-pack. Guaranteed. But look, have a crack at it if you're keen. If you're not, well, look, play some games, look at the league, have a go at it. If you're from a different state, and that state happens to be Victoria, they also have a league that you might want to consider joining. New South Wales is definitely considering going down there and trying to grab a couple of their badges. Whether they'd try and come up and grab some of ours, who knows. And I've seen some talk from the Queenslanders that they might like to pilfer the idea. Maybe they'll amalgamate Victoria and New South Wales' take on it and come up with something even better. We'll steal it back next year, of course. But yeah. And if you happen to live in another country, well, maybe in your local scene, you want to try and take some initiative or talk to some people, local TOs, and see if you can maybe get some sort of league happening. Because the end result is more games will get played. If more games get played, more people have fun, more people play the game, you have more opponents, and that's a good thing. All right? It's an even better thing if more people have terrain. Okay, so again, thanks for watching. Catch you all next time. See ya.